Welcome back to the channel, RacerX here, and today I thought I would put a short video together for you guys about the Demon 170 and a lot of the speculation that's out there right now about the top speed of this car. Apparently several people messaged Dodge about taking their Demon 170 out to the Texas Mile. That's an event out in Beeville, Texas, where you see some insane speeds from some really high horsepower cars. But a lot of guys were like, hey, I want to take my Demon 170 out there and see what that thing will really do in a full mile, full tilt. And I think that is really, really cool. But it turns out Dodge came back and said, look, we highly advise against taking this thing to the Texas Mile. That is not what this car is engineered for. And you might be a little bit surprised about the top speed. So today's video is all about a conversation I had with Dodge about the top speed of the Demon 170. And I think the answers will actually really surprise you guys. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget, hit subscribe. You can find that button right over here. And off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Check it out, guys. I have a brand new partnership with Dream Giveaway, and I've been paying very close attention to their website, known about these guys for a while. I love the fact that a lot of the money that's generated on their car giveaways actually goes to charity. They have multiple organizations that they work with, and one of their cars, one of their mini cars that they have out there right now is a 2018 SRT Demon that is absolutely gorgeous. Black and red color scheme. I love everything about this car. It comes complete with the crate and everything you need to go fast. I would absolutely love this car. Matter of fact, I have already entered to win, and because I partnered with them, now you can actually get double the points if you use my code RacerX, which I will actually put in the description of this video, and I will pin a comment to make it easy for you guys. But yeah, if you go enter right now, you get double the points just by using my code. And I will actually go so far as to say, if one of my subscribers wins this, if I don't win it, I would absolutely love to do a dedicated video on you and your new car. I think this is such a cool giveaway. Like, tickets won't last forever, guys, so make sure you go get your tickets now. Use my link RacerX and go win that Demon. I really hope that one of you guys wins that Demon. That car is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I want to take you back to when Dodge initially started doing all the teasers on the Demon 170. At that point, we didn't know really what the car was going to be. I mean, Tim Kuniskis told us it was going to be a record-breaking car. We all had our kind of theories as to what the car was going to be. But now we know, obviously, 1,025 horsepower, 945 pound-feet of torque, and 8.9 in the quarter mile, which they've actually done. I know it's kind of hard to replicate that. You got to have a really sticky track and all that, but the car is an absolute monster, and it really does break all of the records. And when you look back at the teasers, you had one where the Leprechaun is kind of hanging up an IV. Obviously, they were teasing E85. There are elements of truth really in all of their teasers. They had another one where the big Leprechaun guy is like jackhammering on the molecules, and they show pressure. Obviously, that was to tell us they were going to have over 2,500 pounds of cylinder pressure in this, meaning that it was going to be running more boost than both the Red Eye and the 2018 Demon. And they had lots of other little teasers in there. And I think most reasonable people speculated that, yeah, this car is going to reach 215 mile an hour as its top speed. After all, it's going to have more power than the old Red Eye, which would already eclipse 200 miles an hour. And that really is just what made sense. Well, I talked to Dodge about this because, like I said, Dodge said, look, don't go run this at the Texas Mile. That's not what the car is engineered for. If the thing's going to do 215 mile an hour, I think it'd be pretty fun to go try it. And I want to go inside now and actually read the responses from Dodge so you guys can hear it directly from them about what this car will actually do from a top speed perspective. As I mentioned before, I've been getting all sorts of messages asking me to go to Dodge and validate the true top speed of the Demon 170 because there's a lot of speculation flying around out there. And what many of you told me was they're saying the Demon is governed to 149 mile an hour. Well, that makes no sense whatsoever. Obviously, Dodge has already told us in the quarter mile, this thing runs an 8.9 at 151 mile an hour, so we know it can't be governed to 149. Yet I've even seen a documentation where Dodge is stating, no, the top speed is 149 mile an hour based on the tire rating. So there's kind of a weird situation going on right now. So I called Dodge and I said, look, can you guys just kind of tell me the truth about the top speed of the Demon 170 so I can share it with everybody? And of course, they were kind enough to respond. It left me a little bit confused. So I've actually got my computer pulled open right here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you guys can read exactly what they said. And essentially what was asked was, what is the top speed of the Demon 170? and does it change in drag mode? And their response was that the tires may exceed the speed rating of 149 mile an hour, but only in drag racing applications and never used on the highway. So essentially, as long as you have it in drag mode, it will exceed 149 mile an hour. If you have it in regular auto mode, it governs it. 149 mile an hour is as fast as the electronic limiter will let you go. And actually, they go on to expand on that. The answer from a subject matter expert. Keep in mind, the first answer was from the owner's manual itself. And I will be perfectly honest, I did not read the owner's manual cover to cover. Maybe I should have. I read parts of it. I did not read the whole thing cover to cover. So that is directly from the owner's manual. But when they asked one of the engineers, their response was drag mode does not have a unique top speed. The vehicle speed controller allows excursion over 149 mile an hour only very briefly, which allows the vehicle to reach its maximum trap speed on a drag strip before quickly settling to 149 mile an hour to ensure compliance with the tire's V speed rating. So that answer was a little bit cryptic to me, because basically what they're saying is very briefly. That was kind of the key term right there. So it'll exceed 149 mile an hour, but only very briefly. And I don't quite understand what very briefly means. Does that mean you can accelerate all the way up to 215 miles an hour as long as you've got it to the floor? Obviously, it's pretty cut and dry if it only goes to 149 in auto. But I'm really curious. I mean, what really will the car do? Does that mean it's going to cut off once you achieve like a full quarter mile? Does the car know that? And it won't let you go past more than a quarter mile, and then all of a sudden it backs you down to 149 mile an hour. So I couldn't really make a lot of sense out of this. So I actually sent another note over to Dodge asking them to expand on that. After I went to Dodge and asked them to kind of expand on what they meant by briefly over 149 mile an hour, they actually sent me a pretty long response. So I've got it right here. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing for you so you know exactly what they said word for word. And they said, as we've told anyone who has asked about events like the Texas Mile, the Demon 170 was not engineered for that type of performance. The 2023 Challenger SRT Hellcat Red Eye wide body was optimized for events like the Texas Mile and is the fastest mass-produced muscle car with a top speed of 203 mile an hour. So they're basically telling you right now, the Red Eye is faster than the Demon 170. Obviously, there's a big difference between faster and quicker. And they go on to talk about that. The SRT Demon 170 is the quickest with a 0 to 60 of 1.66 seconds and was engineered for the opposite type of performance achievement. You would not be able to attempt to go 200 mile an hour in the Demon 170 without making major modifications that are not advised. The Demon 170 is purpose-built for quarter-mile performance. In bold, the engine, driveline, tires, everything was designed for that specific type of performance. And they actually go on to talk a little bit about the teaser videos that I referenced saying 215 mile an hour. They said the teaser videos from prior to the reveal are intended to engage the community, start conversations, and see what speculations everyone will make. But there hasn't been any mention of a top speed on anything following the reveal. The landing page doesn't list a top speed, only the 151.17 mile an hour and the 8.91 second ET run. There's a link there. The official press release doesn't list a top speed, only the 151.17 mile an hour and the 8.9 second ET run. It's the world's first 8-second factory muscle car, exactly what it was designed to be. So there it is directly from Dodge. They're basically saying, look, this thing is not as fast as a Red Eye. So I'm really curious when they said the thing would do 215 mile an hour in the teaser. And actually, somebody sent me something from Dodge Garage, which has now been taken down, where it actually did say the Demon 170 would go 215 mile an hour. So a little bit of a weird deal. Truth is, the Demon 170 was never engineered to be a top speed machine like a Bugatti or like a Koenigsegg or some of those other exotics that run just insane speeds. That's not what this car was designed to do, right? It's meant to be a factory-built, drag-inspired car, one of the quickest production cars in the world on a prep track in the quarter mile. And so Dodge really based all of their engineering and everything put on that car around the fact that this is designed to be a quarter mile car. And I can tell you firsthand, this car is absolutely violent to launch. I mean, 260 foots from a production car is just absolutely ridiculous. So they had to reinforce really the entire car so that we wouldn't break it when we're out there trying to run these crazy numbers in this car. But they didn't want this car to be a car that was going to go run 200 something mile an hour. And I know that does disappoint a lot of people. And I really do kind of feel like that teaser was pretty misleading. I know it got a lot of people on the hype train, but they had to put some really big sticky tires on the back of this thing to be able to plant that much power, because that power comes on so hard and fast. 105 millimeter throttle body with a 3-liter IHI. And even if you're not in the torque reserve and you just hit it from dead idle, the car is just violent. You would have to drive it to kind of see what I mean by that. So yeah, they had to put a big sticky tire with a really soft compound on the back of this to really make everything work and to run the desired times. It didn't make any sense for them to put a hard street tire on this thing, because you're just going to send it up in smoke no matter how fast you're going to go, and it's probably borderline dangerous with as powerful as this car is. So you kind of have to take into account what the car really is. I still don't understand where the 215 mile an hour thing came from. As I mentioned, I feel like maybe we were misled just a little bit, but that really doesn't affect how I feel about the car. I mean, I knew this car was a factory built quarter-mile monster, and it definitely lives up to the billing. It's really like trying to tame a giant beast when you're out there trying to drag race the thing, and it takes a lot of seat time to kind of get that power hooked up, as I can attest to, but that's what makes it fun, and it makes it a driver's car. So yeah, I mean, it's a bummer that the car won't do 215 or 218, and it is a little bit of a surprise that the Red Eye is a faster car than the Demon 170, and Dodge never really gave us a straight answer as to how fast the Demon 170 will go. And I think that's a little disappointing. I would love to know. I mean, will it hit 170 if you just keep it to the floor? When does the car know to kind of back that thing down to 149 mile an hour? I didn't get any answers to that. I shared everything I got from them. And, you know, I don't know what's in the tune, but I know it will not do 200 mile an hour, as was mentioned, with with the stock tune that's in the car. That doesn't mean with different tires on it and with a different tune that you could do it. And we may see some people actually do that, but you're going to void your warranty. And like I said, that wasn't really the spirit of why they built this car. In a nutshell, what's really going on here is we don't know the top speed of the Demon 170. They haven't shared it with us. Even if you ask the engineers, they're not going to give it to you. And maybe somebody can actually get this thing out on a runway somewhere and try and run it as fast as it will go to kind of test this out. I would love to do that, but they don't want people doing that. Dodge has made no bones about the fact that, look, we highly discourage you going out there and running this thing past really a quarter mile. They just don't really want people doing that. And I kind of feel like at some point, maybe what happened was they realized the car could go that fast, but then they had to put the big sticky tires on the back. They talked to Mickey Thompson about it. They did all the research on it. And they said, nope, we got to put something in the tune here that backs this car way down to keep it safe, because those tires they're not made to go that fast. And we know what this car is really made to do. Well, and that is going to do it for this one. I just wanted to share that bit of information with you guys. I realize some of you may be pretty disappointed. After all, I think most people really did think the car was going to do 215 miles an hour. And as Dodge stated, unless you have a lot of modifications with the car, it simply won't do that. And that's not what it's engineered to do. I honestly thought that the car would absolutely do 215 mile an hour myself. And I even told people that. But you know what? It is what it is. And I just want to kind of spread the word to you guys about what Dodge is saying the car is capable of. It's still an absolute monster, still one of the quickest cars in the world, if not the quickest car in the world on a prep surface, on a drag strip, and it's still an amazing vehicle, but definitely not a top speed machine as Dodge stated. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.